Welcome, dear friends, to a gentle journey through 140 fascinating facts about the Fallout Wasteland, that sprawling world where the echoes of the past intertwine with the quiet, resilient pulse of survival. In this post apocalyptic land, the ruins of civilization tell stories of both despair and hope, where every corner holds a forgotten secret and every wind whispers of lost dreams. Tonight, we'll explore the intricate details of this world, from the formation of vaults to the rise of factions, from the strange creatures that wander its ravaged landscape to the legends that have been built upon its scorched earth. We'll take a soft step through the history, the science, and the quiet beauty of the Fallout universe, embracing its mysteries and learning the subtle lessons it holds. And if you enjoy drifting through stories like this, you're welcome to subscribe and softly tell me where you're listening from tonight. Now, let us begin our journey, slowly and peacefully, through the first set of Fallout Wasteland facts, where the foundation of this world first takes root. Fact 1. In 2077, the world stood at the brink of disaster. Tensions between the United States and China were escalating over limited resources, and the Earth's surface was scarred by war. Fallout shelters, known as vaults, were created as a last hope for humanity. These massive underground facilities were designed to protect citizens from the fallout of nuclear devastation, but as the world outside fell silent, the true test began. Would humanity survive? And if so, what would remain? The vaults became not only a sanctuary, but also a symbol of survival, mystery, and eventual isolation. Fact 2. The vaults were created by a corporation named Vault Tech, who promised the public a chance to escape the inevitable devastation. However, their true purpose was not just survival, but experimentation. Vault Tech had a hidden agenda, one that would alter the lives of countless individuals trapped within their walls. From social experiments to scientific research, the vaults were a breeding ground for both hope and despair. The people inside would soon realize that their safety was only an illusion, and the wasteland that awaited them would be both an opportunity and a curse. Fact 3. One of the most iconic features of the Fallout universe is the Pip-Boy, a personal computing device that became the constant companion of survivors in the wasteland. The Pip-Boy was a revolutionary piece of technology, worn on the wrist and designed to assist its user with tasks such as tracking health, inventory, and data. In the post-apocalyptic world, it became an essential tool for those trying to navigate a land of endless danger. Its green glow became a symbol of survival, its simple interface a lifeline in a world where everything else seemed broken. Fact 4. Vault 101, a particularly well-known vault, served as the birthplace of the protagonist in Fallout 3. Known for its strict no exit policy, Vault 101 represented an isolated existence, free from the chaos of the outside world. However, this isolation bred a deep sense of curiosity and rebellion. For many years, Vault 101 remained untouched by the outside world, until one fateful day when the protagonist was forced to leave, setting off a chain of events that would forever alter the wasteland. The vault's legacy became one of secrets, lost knowledge, and untold stories. Fact 5. The Great War, which occurred on October 23, 2077, was the catastrophic event that forever altered the course of history. In a mere 2 hours, the world's cities were reduced to ruins, and the Earth became a radioactive wasteland. This global nuclear conflict between the United States and China was the climax of years of escalating tensions. As the bombs fell, they not only destroyed the physical world, but also shattered the fragile sense of peace that once existed. From the ashes, humanity would struggle to rebuild, facing not just external dangers, but the haunting remnants of the past. Fact 6. The power armor, an iconic piece of technology in the Fallout universe, was originally designed by the United States military for use in combat situations. Its imposing, bulky frame offered its wearer near impervious protection, making it a symbol of military might. After the Great War, power armor became a valuable artifact, worn by soldiers, mercenaries, and survivors alike. Its gleaming metal surfaces, often stained by years of use, served as a reminder of a bygone era when such technology could have changed the course of history. Now, it was merely a relic, worn by those seeking to survive. Fact 7. One of the most memorable factions in the Fallout series is the Brotherhood of Steel. Founded in the aftermath of the Great War, this group of technologically advanced warriors sought to preserve and protect the remnants of the old world's technology. They became known for their strict code of honor, their reliance on power armor, and their endless quest to control technology for the benefit of humanity. Yet their methods often clashed with the ideals of others, making them both revered and feared. The Brotherhood's journey through the Wasteland was one of idealism, pragmatism, and constant conflict. Fact 8. Mutations in the Fallout universe are a common consequence of exposure to radiation, which left many survivors to grapple with strange, often grotesque changes. Some mutations, like those seen in the supermutants, were the result of scientific experiments gone wrong. Others, like the ghouls, humans who had been exposed to radiation for extended periods, were cursed with a decayed, zombie like appearance. Despite their outward forms, many ghouls retained their humanity, and some even thrived in the wasteland. In a world ravaged by nuclear fallout, survival came at a price, one that would leave deep scars, both physical and emotional. Fact 9. The iconic wasteland itself, filled with ruined cities, desolate landscapes, and strange creatures, has been shaped by both nature and the destructive forces of the Great War. Over time, the environment has become a harsh and unpredictable place where danger lurks in every shadow. Yet amidst the decay, new life has emerged in strange forms, with mutated plants and animals adapting to the harsh radiation. The wasteland has its own rhythm, a slow pulse that beats in the hearts of those who call it home. Survival is a delicate dance with the land, its harsh beauty both cruel and captivating. Fact 10. The vaults, though created as places of refuge, became symbols of both hope and despair as the years wore on. Some vaults failed in their purpose, leaving their inhabitants to endure horrific experiments. Others, like Vault 13, were lost to time, their survivors drifting through the wasteland as living reminders of the past. Still, there were vaults that succeeded in protecting their people, preserving a semblance of life amid the chaos. Each vault tells a story of what could have been, what was lost, and what remained to be discovered in the ruins of the old world. Fact 11. In the years following the Great War, the wasteland became a patchwork of small communities, each struggling to survive in their own way. Some formed tight-knit settlements, while others turned to raiding and violence. The constant threat of mutants, as bandits, and radiation made it difficult for any community to truly thrive. Yet despite the hardships, people found ways to adapt and rebuild. The wasteland became a place where survival was not just about physical strength, but about resilience, resourcefulness, and the ability to hold on to humanity in a world that had forgotten what it meant. Fact 12. One of the most notable features of the Fallout universe is its distinct retro futuristic aesthetic. Inspired by the 1940s and 1950s, the world of Fallout blends the optimism of mid century American culture with the harsh dystopian reality of a nuclear apocalypse. The Art Deco buildings, old fashioned advertisements, and jazzy music evoke a sense of nostalgia for a world that never was. This unique visual style creates an eerie contrast between the past's idealistic dreams and the broken present, highlighting the fall of a civilization that once believed in progress, only to have it all undone in an instant. Fact 13. The Vault Boy, the cheerful mascot of Vault Tech, became one of the most enduring symbols of the Fallout series. With his wide grin, perfectly coiffed hair, and a thumbs up gesture, the Vault Boy represents the irony of the pre war world's optimism in the face of impending doom. His likeness appears on everything from Pip Boys to advertisements, offering a sense of reassurance in a world that had long lost its innocence. Yet the Vault Boy also serves as a reminder of the dark undertones beneath the surface, the experiments, the lies, and the inevitable destruction that followed. Fact 14. The new California Republic, NCR, is one of the most powerful and influential factions in the Fallout series. Formed after the fall of the Old World, the NCR strives to restore some semblance of order and civilization to the wasteland. Their mission is to bring democracy, infrastructure, and law to the fractured lands of the post apocalyptic world. However, the NCR's expansion has not been without controversy. Many see them as a force of good, while others view them as imperialistic, seeking to control more territory than they can manage. The NCR represents the hope for rebuilding, but at a cost. Fact 15. The Brotherhood of Steel, initially founded as a group of soldiers in the aftermath of the Great War, evolved into a faction obsessed with preserving and controlling technology. Their main goal is to find and secure advanced technology, believing that it holds the key to humanity's future. With their formidable power armor and advanced weaponry, the Brotherhood is both revered and feared. Their strict code of honor and their pursuit of knowledge makes them a force to be reckoned with. Yet their obsession with technology sometimes leads to conflicts with other factions who see their control over it as dangerous. Fact 16. The supermutants are one of the most terrifying and tragic consequences of the Great War's fallout. Created by the forced evolutionary virus, FIV, these towering mutated creatures were once human but have been transformed into monstrous beings. Their minds are often warped, and their bodies are grotesque, yet they retain fragments of their former selves. Some supermutants are driven by a desire to conquer and dominate, while others seek peace and understanding. Their existence is a testament to the unpredictable horrors of the wasteland, where humanity's darkest creations roam freely, seeking meaning in a world that rejected them. Fact 17. Ghouls, another product of the wasteland's radioactive environment, are humans who have been exposed to intense radiation. The result is a horrifying transformation, leaving them with decayed, zombie-like appearances. Despite their gruesome exterior, many ghouls are still fully sentient and capable of forming relationships. Some ghouls live peacefully, while others become feral, driven mad by the radiation. Ghouls are often ostracized and feared by the rest of humanity, yet they continue to endure, finding their place in the wasteland. Their plight is a somber reminder of the toll that radiation can take, both on the body and the mind. Fact 18. One of the most mysterious and powerful artifacts in the Fallout universe is the Jisei Garden of Eden Creation Kit. This small portable device has the ability to terraform a barren, irradiated land and transform it into a thriving ecosystem. The GEOTK is said to hold the key to restoring life to the wasteland, offering hope to those who believe that one day the earth may be reborn. However, its true capabilities are shrouded in mystery, and many factions seek it for their own purposes. The GECK represents both the dream of renewal and the danger of unchecked power. Fact 19. The Enclave, a remnant of the pre-war U.S. government, is one of the most ruthless and technologically advanced factions in the Fallout universe. They see themselves as the true heirs of America, believing that they are the last bastion of civilization and that they have the right to dominate the wasteland. With their advanced technology, including power armor and robotic soldiers, the Enclave poses a constant threat to the survivors of the wasteland. Their goal is to rebuild America in their own image, no matter the cost, often clashing with other factions who stand in their way. Fact 20. One of the most iconic locations in the Fallout series is Megaton, a small town built around a live atomic bomb. The town's residents, despite the ever-present danger of the bomb, have managed to carve out a modest existence in the wasteland. Megaton serves as a symbol of human resilience. The people have learned to live with the constant threat of annihilation, building a community where none should exist. The town's name is a reflection of the peril that looms over them, yet the people continue to live their lives, embracing hope amidst the uncertainty. Fact 21. The wasteland is dotted with mysterious and abandoned buildings, each telling a story of the old world. One of the most iconic sites is the ruined city of Washington, D.C., now a shadow of its former glory. The Capitol building, once the heart of American democracy, now lies in ruins. The Lincoln Memorial, though scarred, still stands as a somber reminder of the past. The monuments and statues that survived the war are eerie and poignant, their silhouettes a testament to a time long gone. In the wasteland, history is both preserved and forgotten in equal measure. Fact 22. In the Fallout universe, Vault-Tech's experiments weren't limited to the construction of vaults. Many vaults were designed for social experimentation, some of which had devastating consequences. Vault 69, for example, contained only one woman and 999 men, resulting in a breeding experiment that led to conflict, chaos, and ultimately a failed social experiment. Vault-Tech's purpose was not simply to shelter survivors, but to study their behavior in extreme conditions. The dark irony of their mission was that the shelters meant to protect humanity became cages where society's most intimate and dangerous questions were asked. Fact 23. One of the most enigmatic creatures in the wasteland is the Deathclaw, a terrifying lizard-like monster that has become a symbol of the dangers lurking in the wasteland. Originally created as part of a military experiment, Deathclaws were intended to be the ultimate weapon. However, after the Great War, they escaped into the wild and quickly became one of the most fearsome predators in the post-apocalyptic world. Their strength and speed make them nearly unstoppable and they strike terror into the hearts of anyone unlucky enough to encounter them. Yet, despite their deadly nature, they are fascinating in their complexity. Fact 24: the iconic radio station of the Wasteland, Galaxy News Radio, GNR, is run by the charismatic Three Dog, who broadcasts from the ruins of Washington, D.C. GNR became the voice of the people, offering music, news, and hope to those who had long since lost contact with the outside world. Three Dogs broadcasts were more than just entertainment, they were a reminder that even in the darkest times, the human spirit could endure. His witty banter and energetic voice offered a brief reprieve from the harshness of the wasteland, making him one of the most beloved figures in the Fallout universe. Fact 25: the wasteland is full of strange and dangerous creatures, but one of the most bizarre is the Yao Guai. These mutated bears roam the post apocalyptic landscape, often making their home in areas that are too dangerous for other creatures to survive. They are a testament to the power of mutation in the Fallout universe. Their massive size, ferocity, and resilience make them formidable foes. Despite their terrifying appearance, some survivors have learned to avoid or even tame these creatures, showcasing the adaptability and resourcefulness required to live in a world that seems determined to challenge every human survivor. Fact 26: the mysterious Brotherhood of Steel faction has always had a singular goal: the preservation of technology. They believe that the technology of the old world holds the key to humanity's future, but their obsession with it often puts them at odds with other factions. While they seek to protect and control technology, they also face the challenge of keeping it out of the wrong hands. Their pursuit of knowledge and power sometimes leads them to act with ruthless efficiency, yet they also embody a deep respect for the past and a desire to preserve what remains of humanity's greatest achievements. Fact 27: the theme of survival is central to the Fallout universe, and nowhere is this more evident than in the relationship between the vaults and the outside world. While the vaults provided shelter from the radiation, the surface was a place of constant danger. Radiation, mutated creatures, and scarcity of resources forced survivors to adapt in creative and often harrowing ways. From scavenging for food and water to forging alliances with other factions, every day in the wasteland is a struggle for survival. This constant battle against the odds has become a defining feature of the Fallout experience. Fact 28: the wasteland is not without its share of mysterious, ancient artifacts. One of the most iconic of these is the Nuka-Cola Quantum, a glowing blue version of the famous Nuka-Cola. These rare bottles are highly sought after by collectors and enthusiasts, as they represent both the nostalgia of the old world and the strange, irradiated beauty of the post-apocalyptic landscape. The glowing bottles are a reminder of a time when soda was a simple pleasure, now transformed into something much more complex, a relic of a world that once found joy in the most everyday things. Fact 29: one of the most enduring and symbolic characters in Fallout is the Lone Wanderer, the protagonist of Fallout 3. This silent hero embarks on a journey through the wasteland, guided by their own moral compass and the quest to uncover their past. The Lone Wanderer is a reflection of the player's choices, representing both the fragility and strength of the human spirit. They can be a force of good, striving to help those in need, or a harbinger of destruction, driven by personal gain. The Lone Wanderer's journey through the wasteland is one of discovery, hardship, and ultimately transformation. Fact 30. The wasteland is not only a place of danger, but also a land of strange beauty. As radiation has altered the landscape, new ecosystems have emerged, with plants and animals mutated beyond recognition. Some survivors have come to appreciate the beauty in the unusual, finding peace in the quiet corners of the wasteland. From the glowing foliage of irradiated trees to the peaceful rivers running through desolate valleys, the wasteland is a place of contrasts. Amidst the chaos and decay, there is still life, still light, and still moments of unexpected serenity. Fact 31. The wasteland is home to a number of mutated creatures, but one of the most terrifying is the mirelurk. These crustacean like creatures have evolved from the mutated remnants of pre war aquatic life. With their hard, shell like exteriors and powerful pincers, mirelurks are dangerous foes. They are often found in coastal areas where they wait in ambush for unsuspecting survivors. Their appearance is a haunting reminder of the devastation that has transformed the wasteland's ecosystem into something unrecognizable, where even the creatures that once thrived in the oceans now hunt the survivors of the old world. Fact 32. In the Fallout universe, the concept of family and connection runs deep, even in the face of devastation. One of the most touching examples of this is the story of the Vault Dweller from Fallout 1, whose journey was motivated by the desire to save their home. Despite the horrors of the wasteland, the Vault Dweller's connection to their fellow survivors drove them to succeed. Family, whether biological or chosen, is a key theme in the Fallout series. In a world where survival is paramount, relationships become a source of strength and purpose amidst the chaos. Fact 33. The Wasteland's numerous factions each have their own unique history, but none are as mysterious as the Institute. The Institute is a secretive organization dedicated to advanced technology and artificial intelligence. While their true goals remain shrouded in secrecy, they are known for their creation of synths, synthetic humans, who are indistinguishable from real people. The Institute's cold, clinical approach to science and their willingness to sacrifice morality for technological progress makes them both feared and revered. Their actions have left an indelible mark on the wasteland, and their influence continues to be felt throughout the region. Fact 34. The Red Rocket stations, often seen scattered across the wasteland, were once a familiar sight to travelers before the Great War. These gas stations, now long abandoned, have become iconic in the Fallout universe. Despite their dilapidated state, they provide shelter and supplies to those fortunate enough to find them. Red Rocket stations are often marked with their bright red colors, offering a stark contrast to the muted tones of the wasteland. These remnants of a forgotten world provide a sense of comfort to survivors who can rest and resupply before continuing their journey through the barren land. Fact 35. The landscape of the wasteland is littered with the remains of old world vehicles, from rusted cars to abandoned trucks. These vehicles, once symbols of freedom and progress, now stand as silent witnesses to the destruction of civilization. Some survivors salvage these remnants for parts, while others attempt to restore them to working condition. The act of driving across the wasteland, once so familiar, now feels like a distant dream. Yet, even in the face of despair, there are those who continue to try to make these old machines work, believing that there is still hope in them. Fact 36. One of the most dangerous aspects of the wasteland is the constant presence of radiation. Fallout has left large portions of the Earth contaminated, making the land unsafe to traverse without protective gear. Radiation sickness is a constant threat to survivors, and even the smallest exposure can lead to dire consequences. In some areas, radiation has transformed the environment, creating a twisted and mutated version of nature. The wasteland is a place where every step is a calculated risk, and survival often depends on the ability to navigate the dangerous radiation zones. Fact 37. The power armor, a symbol of strength and protection in the Fallout universe, was originally created as military technology. Over the years, it has become a staple of survival in the wasteland. The heavy armor is capable of withstanding extreme environmental conditions and providing immense protection in combat. For survivors, donning the power armor is a rite of passage, a way to show that they are ready to face the dangers of the world head on. Despite its formidable strength, however, power armor is not without its limitations, and its wearers must be resourceful to maintain it. Fact 38. The wasteland is filled with strange and terrifying phenomena, but few are as haunting as the phenomenon known as the fog. This thick, yellow mist covers entire regions, obscuring vision and disorienting those who wander into it. Some believe it to be the result of chemical or biological warfare, while others think it is a lingering effect of the Great War's radioactive fallout. Whatever the cause, the fog is a deadly and unpredictable force, often hiding mutated creatures, dangerous factions, and hidden dangers. It serves as a reminder that the wasteland is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Fact 39. One of the most iconic aspects of the Fallout series is the Vault Tech mascot, Vault Boy. Vault Boy appears in various forms throughout the games, usually offering cheerful thumbs up gestures or other jovial expressions. His image is often found on Vault-Tec advertisements, posters, and promotional material, creating a stark contrast to the harsh reality of the wasteland. Vault Boy's exaggerated optimism, often juxtaposed with the grim reality of the wasteland, serves as a dark commentary on the failures of pre-war society. Despite his cheerful demeanor, Vault Boy embodies the eerie irony of a world forever changed. Fact 40. The Brotherhood of Steel's iconic airship, the Pridwin, represents the faction's power and technological prowess. This massive flying vessel, which serves as the Brotherhood's mobile base, is a symbol of their dedication to preserving and controlling advanced technology. The Pridwin is equipped with weapons, advanced power armor, and resources that allow the Brotherhood to enforce their ideals across the wasteland. Its imposing presence in the sky serves as both a warning and a sign of hope, depending on one's perspective. For the Brotherhood, it is a tool for enforcing order in a chaotic world. Fact 41. The wasteland is full of danger, but some places are even more treacherous than others. One such location is the notorious Pit, a ruined city in the post-apocalyptic world, home to the remains of a brutal steel mill. It became a hub for slaves who were forced to work in dangerous, life-threatening conditions. The Pit is a place where survival is a daily struggle, and the harsh conditions have left deep scars on the survivors. Despite its reputation for cruelty, the Pit holds secrets and opportunities for those brave enough to explore its depths. Fact 42. In the Fallout universe, the concept of home takes on a new meaning. One of the most memorable locations in the series is the Vault 111, the starting point of Fallout 4's protagonist. This vault, like many others, was meant to protect its inhabitants from the nuclear fallout outside. But the vault's true purpose was revealed to be far more sinister, as its residents were subjected to cryogenic stasis for experiments. Vault Wonderland's story is one of survival, betrayal, and loss, a haunting reminder of the way the old world treated its citizens as nothing more than test subjects. Fact 43: Nuka Cola, the beloved pre war soft drink, holds a special place in the hearts of survivors in the Wasteland. While the regular Nuka Cola has become a staple of the post apocalyptic world, a rare and more potent version called Nuka Cola Quantum exists. This glowing blue drink, infused with radiation, offers temporary boosts of energy and has become a symbol of both the ingenuity and irresponsibility of the pre war world. The Nuka Cola brand is one of the few remnants of the old world that still provides comfort to those in the wasteland, even if it carries a hidden danger. Fact 44: The wasteland is filled with large, dangerous creatures, but one of the most imposing is the Deathclaw. These creatures are the result of mutations caused by exposure to radiation, and they are among the fiercest predators in the Fallout universe. Deathclaws are known for their terrifying speed, strength, and razor-sharp claws, making them formidable opponents for any survivor. While these monsters are terrifying in appearance, they also serve as a reminder of the profound changes brought about by the Great War. Once creatures of the wild, they have become deadly predators in a world forever altered. Fact 45: The supermutants are another byproduct of the post-apocalyptic world. These towering, monstrous beings were once ordinary humans, but the forced evolutionary virus, FIV, transformed them into savage, mutated creatures. Despite their hulking appearances and monstrous strength, many supermutants retain their intelligence and even possess a tragic longing for acceptance. Their story is one of isolation and survival as they wander the wasteland searching for their place in a world that has rejected them. The supermutants are not simply mindless monsters, they are the result of scientific experimentation gone horribly wrong. Fact 46: In the Fallout universe, the concept of civilization is often in flux. The NCR, one of the most influential factions in the series, seeks to restore a semblance of order to the wasteland. Originally a small group of settlers, the NCR grew into a large democratic republic that aimed to bring law and structure back to the chaotic world. However, their attempts to expand and impose their vision often lead to conflict with other factions. While some see the NCR as a force of good, others view them as a symbol of the old world's imperialism and corruption. Fact 47: The wasteland's geography is as diverse as its inhabitants. From arid deserts to lush, irradiated forests, the land has been transformed by nuclear fallout in ways both strange and beautiful. One of the most memorable areas is the glowing, radioactive lake found in several Fallout games. These lakes, though deadly to most, are home to unique, mutated life forms that have adapted to the harsh radiation. The lake's eerie glow is a reminder of the twisted beauty that exists in the aftermath of disaster, where nature finds a way to persist and thrive, even in the most hostile environments. Fact 48: The Brotherhood of Steel's obsession with technology is not without controversy. Though they are often portrayed as protectors of the wasteland, their strict adherence to their code and their desire to control advanced technology has led them into conflict with other factions. The Brotherhood's technology hoarding often prevents other groups from gaining access to useful resources, and their isolationist tendencies have caused tension with those who seek a more cooperative approach to rebuilding the world. The Brotherhood's commitment to preserving the past can sometimes be seen as a refusal to move forward into a new future. Fact 49. The Raiders are one of the most dangerous factions in the Wasteland, known for their lawlessness and brutal behavior. These groups of marauders prey on the weak, looting and pillaging their way across the land. What makes the Raiders so terrifying is their unpredictability. No two Raider groups are the same, and their motivations can range from sheer chaos to a twisted sense of survival. In a world where resources are scarce, the Raiders thrive on the violence and instability that plagues the wasteland, making them a constant threat to any who cross their path. Fact 50. The Commonwealth, the region surrounding Boston, is one of the most iconic locations in Fallout 4. Once a bustling center of education and culture, it was ravaged by the Great War. Today, it is a fractured land of settlements, ruins, and dangerous creatures. Despite the devastation, the Commonwealth is home to many survivors who have learned to adapt and build a new life amidst the ruins. Its cities, such as Diamond City, serve as hubs of commerce and resistance, offering hope to those trying to carve out a place in the unforgiving world of the Wasteland. Fact 51. One of the most iconic factions in the Fallout universe is the Minutemen. Originally formed as a group of settlers who banded together to protect their homes from raiders and other threats, the Minutemen embody the ideals of cooperation and community. Over time, the group became a symbol of hope, striving to restore order and peace in the wasteland. Despite internal struggles and their limited resources, the Minutemen continue to stand for the possibility of a brighter future, showing that even in the darkest of times, ordinary people can come together to protect one another. Fact 52. The wasteland is not just defined by its danger and decay, but by the sense of wonder it can evoke. One example of this is the vast underground vaults that stretch beneath the surface of the earth. These vaults, once built as shelter from nuclear war, now serve as a quiet testament to the resilience of humankind. Many vaults contain forgotten technologies and hidden secrets waiting to be uncovered. Exploring these vast, silent spaces feels like stepping back into the past, where humanity's ingenuity and blind optimism were meant to carry them through the darkest of times. Fact 53. One of the most heartbreaking themes of the Fallout series is the loss of innocence. The Great War and the nuclear fallout it caused left the world scarred and altered in unimaginable ways. Pre-war cities and landmarks, once symbols of hope and progress, now stand as twisted remnants of a lost world. Among these ruins, survivors scavenge for food, water, and supplies, but they also sift through the emotional wreckage of their past. In the wasteland, every moment of survival is a reminder of what has been lost, both in terms of lives and the ideals that once shaped them. Fact 54. The wasteland's wildlife has also undergone drastic changes due to the radiation. One of the most notable mutated creatures is the rad scorpion, a giant radioactive scorpion with an incredibly potent stinger. These creatures can be found in many parts of the wasteland, where they hunt and kill with ruthless precision. The rad scorpion serves as a reminder of the chaos unleashed by the Great War, where even the natural world was irrevocably altered. They're a symbol of both nature's adaptability and the horrifying consequences of humanity's reckless pursuit of power. Fact 55. One of the more tragic figures in the Fallout universe is the ghoul called the Living Legend, commonly known as the Gioat. In the Vault 101 story, this particular ghoul was once a man who survived the worst of the radiation, only to find himself living with his decayed form as a constant reminder of his failed survival. The Living Legend's story is a tale of perseverance, struggle, and ultimately the loss of everything he once held dear. He now wanders the wasteland, a ghost of the person he once was, struggling to find purpose in a broken world. Fact 56. The wasteland has seen many different factions rise and fall, but one of the most influential and dangerous groups is the Enclave. This secretive organization, made up of remnants from the pre-war U.S. government, believes that they are the rightful rulers of the post-apocalyptic world. With their advanced technology, including the terrifying and powerful Enclave power armor, they view themselves as humanity's last hope. However, their authoritarian approach and ruthless tactics have made them enemies to many, with their cold, calculating methods contrasting sharply with the ideals of other factions that seek a more democratic future. Fact 57. In the wasteland, many survivors choose to form new families, communities, and alliances in order to protect themselves and rebuild some semblance of normalcy. One such group is the Children of Adam, a religious cult that worships radiation as a divine force. They believe that the atom is a god, and they embrace the radiation that permeates the land. The Children of Adam see the Great War as a sacred event, with the radiation serving as a divine cleansing. While their beliefs may seem strange to outsiders, the Children of Adam are committed to their faith and the power of the atom. Fact 58. The Fallout universe is filled with iconic, unforgettable weapons, and one of the most memorable is the Fat Man. This nuclear catapult launches miniaturized nuclear warheads, causing massive explosions that can devastate entire areas. The Fat Man, with its imposing, cumbersome design, represents the extreme measures that survivors in the wasteland are willing to take in order to protect themselves. While it is often seen as a symbol of overwhelming destructive power, it is also a reminder of the reckless technological advancements that led to the Great War and the aftermath that followed. Fact 59. The Vault Boy, the cheerful mascot of Vault Tech, has become an icon in the Fallout universe. His smiling face and thumbs up gesture are often found on posters, advertisements, and even items in the game. However, the contrast between Vault Boy's cheerful persona and the grim realities of the wasteland creates a dark sense of irony. Vault Boy represents the idealistic optimism of the pre-war world, an optimism that was ultimately shattered by the Great War. His image remains a symbol of both the hope that was lost and the starkness of the world that followed. Fact 60. The Great War, which took place on October 23, 2077, forever changed the course of history. Within hours, nuclear bombs ravaged the world, turning cities into ash and leaving nothing but radiation and destruction in their wake. The world's superpowers, locked in a bitter struggle for resources, pushed humanity to the brink of annihilation. The after effects of the war were felt for generations as survivors faced mutated creatures, scarce resources, and the constant threat of radiation. The Great War serves as a tragic reminder of humanity's destructive potential and the fragile nature of civilization. Fact 61. The Wasteland's landscape is both eerily beautiful and overwhelmingly bleak, and one of its most striking features is the desolate city of New Vegas. Once a thriving metropolis filled with entertainment and hope, New Vegas was left in ruins after the Great War. However, its casinos and neon lights remained a beacon for survivors. Now, it stands as a battleground for power between factions like the New California Republic, NCR, Caesar's Legion, and independent factions. New Vegas is a symbol of how, even in devastation, the human desire for freedom, control, and indulgence persists. Fact 62. In the wasteland, rumors and legends swirl about the mysterious glowing objects scattered throughout the land. One of the most iconic of these is the Nuka-Cola Quantum, a rare, glowing version of the popular Nuka-Cola drink. Found only in limited supply, the Nuka-Cola Quantum has become a symbol of both nostalgia and danger. Though its glowing blue hue is alluring, the drink's radioactive properties make it a dangerous choice. Despite the risks, many survivors seek out these glowing bottles, drawn to them by both the lure of their energizing effects and the desire for something that once felt familiar. Fact 63. The Brotherhood of Steel, one of the most well-known factions in the Fallout series, values technological preservation above all else. They seek to collect and protect pre-war technology, believing that it holds the key to humanity's future. While the Brotherhood's ideals of preserving knowledge are admirable, their strict control of advanced technology often puts them at odds with other factions who seek to use technology for different purposes. The Brotherhood's power, rooted in their advanced weaponry and power armor, makes them both a force for good and a symbol of the post-war struggle for control over the remnants of the old world. Fact 64. The wasteland is filled with people whose lives were irrevocably changed by the Great War. One of the most tragic stories is that of the ghouls, humans who have been exposed to high levels of radiation and now exist in a decayed, zombie-like form. Despite their terrifying appearance, many ghouls retain their minds and emotions, making them both pitiable and dangerous. Over time, some ghouls have found solace in their new lives, while others have been driven to madness. Their plight is a stark reminder of the long-lasting effects of radiation, and their existence challenges the wasteland's definition of humanity. Fact 65. The super mutants are another tragic legacy of the Great War's fallout. Created by the forced evolutionary virus, FEV, super mutants are massive, mutated humans who were once ordinary people. The FEV was designed to enhance human physical abilities, but its effects were catastrophic, turning its subjects into hulking, monstrous figures with limited intelligence and a thirst for destruction. Despite their brutality, some super mutants retain fragments of their former personalities, struggling with their new monstrous forms. Their presence in the wasteland highlights the unintended consequences of scientific experimentation gone wrong, with each mutant carrying a story of loss and transformation. Fact 66. One of the most beloved and heartwarming features of Fallout is its companions, who help players navigate the dangers of the wasteland. From the loyal dog, Dogmeat, to the sarcastic and tough Paladin Dance, these companions offer more than just combat support. They provide insight, humor, and even emotional depth, enriching the player's journey. Some companions, like the mysterious and insightful Nick Valentine, have their own stories and personalities, while others, like Boone, carry deep personal pain from the wasteland's harsh realities. Companions provide a touch of humanity, making the journey through the wasteland feel less lonely. Fact 67. In the Fallout universe, many survivors seek out artifacts of the past, hoping to uncover remnants of the old world that could aid in their survival. One of the most valuable and mysterious of these artifacts is the GECK, Garden of Eden Creation Kit. This device, capable of terraforming and restoring life to a barren, irradiated land, is a symbol of hope for the wasteland's inhabitants. While its true capabilities are often shrouded in mystery, the GECK represents the dream of renewal that one day the wasteland may become fertile and thriving once again, instead of a poisoned wasteland. Fact 68. The theme of moral choices plays a central role in the Fallout series, and the decisions made by players can have a profound impact on the wasteland. From deciding whether to support the new California Republic's democratic vision or align with Caesar's Legion's brutal, dictatorial regime, each choice forces players to grapple with questions of morality, survival, and power. The wasteland offers no easy answers, and the consequences of these decisions are felt not only by the player, but by the factions and people who inhabit the broken world. It's a constant reminder of the cost of survival. Fact 69. One of the most haunting aspects of the wasteland is its pervasive loneliness. Many survivors in the Fallout universe have lost everything: their homes, families, and friends. This sense of isolation is palpable in the barren, radioactive landscape, where the ruins of cities stand as silent monuments to the past. For many, the wasteland is a place of solitude where each day feels like an endless struggle for survival. Yet despite this overwhelming sense of loss, some survivors continue to press on, seeking connection with others, even if only for a fleeting moment. Fact 70. The wasteland's history is filled with the remnants of a society that once thrived. One of the most iconic pieces of this lost world is the Liberty Prime, a giant robot soldier created by the U.S. government before the Great War. With its massive size and advanced weaponry, Liberty Prime was meant to serve as a force of unstoppable military power. However, in the post-apocalyptic world, Liberty Prime serves as both a symbol of humanity's technological ambition and the destructive force it unleashed. The towering, war-torn robot stands as a reminder of the weapons created to protect, but also to destroy. Fact 71. One of the most remarkable locations in the Fallout universe is the Capital Wasteland, the remnants of Washington, D.C. In the aftermath of the Great War, this once grand city was reduced to ruins. Among its many iconic sites, the Washington Monument stands tall, a solemn monument to a bygone era. Though the city is filled with radiation, mutated creatures, and remnants of the past, it continues to draw survivors who seek to uncover its secrets. The Capital Wasteland, with its historical landmarks and desolate beauty, represents the contrast between the old world's hopes and the grim reality of the new one. Fact 72. The Brotherhood of Steel's quest to preserve and control advanced technology often brings them into conflict with other factions in the wasteland. Their strict code, which demands that technology be used for the good of humanity, sometimes clashes with more pragmatic approaches. For example, while the Brotherhood believes in hoarding pre-war technology for future use, other groups such as the New California Republic seek to use technology to build infrastructure and restore civilization. The Brotherhood's belief in technological control and their refusal to share valuable resources make them a powerful and divisive force in the Wasteland. Fact 73. Another unique feature of the Fallout universe is its radio stations, which play an important role in providing both entertainment and context to the world. One of the most memorable stations is Mojave Music Radio, broadcasted from the ruins of an old radio tower in the Mojave Wasteland. The station's broadcasts, filled with both melancholy tunes and upbeat numbers, serve as a reminder of the lost era when music was a source of comfort. In the harsh realities of the wasteland, Mojave Music Radio provides a welcome escape and a sense of connection to the past. Fact 74. The vaults were meant to be safe havens from the nuclear devastation, but many of them became the site of terrifying experiments. Vault 12, for instance, was designed to be located in a radiation hotspot where its inhabitants were exposed to deadly radiation from the outset. This was part of an experiment to determine the effects of radiation on the human body. The vault's survivors, exposed to radiation for years, became ghouls, a tragic reminder of the consequences of the Vault Tech Corporation's unethical experiments. Vault 12's story is one of survival, mutation, and the human cost of ambition. Fact 75. The wasteland's ecosystems have evolved in strange ways due to the radiation. One of the most fascinating and dangerous creatures to emerge from this new environment is the radroach, a mutated version of the common cockroach. These creatures have become a staple of the wasteland's ecosystem, surviving in even the most extreme environments. While they may seem insignificant compared to the larger, more fearsome mutants, radroaches are often a nuisance to survivors, scurrying through the ruins in search of food. Their relentless adaptability makes them an emblem of the wasteland's harsh, ever-changing nature, where even the smallest creature can survive. Fact 76. One of the most iconic weapons in the Fallout series is the plasma rifle, a powerful energy weapon that uses superheated plasma to disintegrate its targets. While the plasma rifle was a symbol of advanced technology before the Great War, it became a prized weapon for survivors in the wasteland, particularly due to its effectiveness against mutants and heavily armored enemies. Its eerie blue glow, combined with the sizzling sound of plasma being discharged, gives it a distinctive presence. The plasma rifle is a symbol of both humanity's technological ambition and the power that remains even in a broken world. Fact 77. The wasteland is full of unusual and dangerous places, and one of the most unsettling is the area known as the Glowing Sea in Fallout 4. This vast, irradiated wasteland is nearly uninhabitable, filled with intense radiation and mutated creatures. Despite the hostile environment, the Glowing Sea holds secrets, including remnants of the old world and potentially valuable resources. The area is a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of nuclear war, with its glowing, toxic haze creating an otherworldly atmosphere. The Glowing Sea is a place of both danger and mystery, where survival is a constant struggle. Fact 78. The Wasteland's radio stations not only provide music, but also tell stories, creating a connection between the survivors and the lost world. One of the most famous figures to emerge from this post-apocalyptic media landscape is Three Dog, the energetic DJ of Galaxy News Radio. With his booming voice and unwavering enthusiasm, Three Dog became a symbol of hope for those struggling to survive in the capital wasteland. His broadcasts, filled with news and music, gave the survivors a sense of purpose, reminding them that they were not alone, even in the most desolate corners of the world. Fact 79. The radiation in the wasteland is one of the greatest dangers faced by survivors. It mutates creatures, alters the environment, and creates an ever present risk to those who venture out into the open. However, radiation also serves as a haunting reminder of the destructive power unleashed by the Great War. It is a constant, invisible threat, changing the landscape and forcing survivors to adapt. Some areas are more radioactive than others, with irradiated creatures and glowing remnants of the past serving as warnings to those who dare to explore. Radiation has become both a curse and a tool of survival. Fact 80. The wasteland is full of strange, eerie creatures, and one of the most terrifying is the Deathclaw. Created through the forced evolutionary virus, FIV, Deathclaws are massive, mutated creatures with razor sharp claws and a terrifying ability to hunt and kill. They are among the most fearsome predators in the Fallout universe, often serving as the final challenge for survivors brave enough to venture into their territory. Despite their monstrous nature, Deathclaws also embody the unintended consequences of pre-war scientific experiments, showing how humanity's quest for power and control led to the creation of horrors that now roam the land. Fact 81. One of the most iconic factions in the Fallout universe is Caesar's Legion, a brutal and militaristic group led by the ruthless Caesar. This faction, based in the Mojave Wasteland, seeks to establish an empire built on Roman-inspired ideals of conquest, slavery, and ruthless discipline. Caesar's Legion is known for its merciless tactics, enslaving entire populations and wiping out any who oppose them. Their goal is to conquer the wasteland and restore order through fear and absolute control. For those who come into contact with them, Caesar's Legion represents the harsh, unforgiving face of totalitarian power in the post-apocalyptic world. Fact 82. The Commonwealth, the area surrounding Boston, is one of the most complex and dangerous regions in the Fallout universe. Once a thriving center of technology and culture, it was ravaged by the Great War. However, remnants of the old world's influence still permeate the area, with groups like the Institute working in secret to restore some form of order. The Commonwealth is filled with a mix of survivors, factions, and dangerous creatures, all vying for control. Its history, deeply intertwined with advanced technology, makes it a place of both opportunity and treacherous danger for those who dare to venture there. Fact 83. In the wasteland, where survival is a constant struggle, the currency of the old world has little value. Instead, bottle caps have become the most common form of trade. This small round currency, once used to seal bottles of soda, now holds immense worth in the post-apocalyptic world. Bottle caps are used to trade goods and services, symbolizing both the lost consumer culture of the past and the resourcefulness required to survive in a world without centralized government or economy. They're a reminder of the collapse of society, where everyday objects take on new meanings in the wake of destruction. Fact 84. One of the most memorable figures in Fallout 3 is Moira Brown, an eccentric and kind-hearted entrepreneur who runs the Craterside Supply Store in Megaton. Moira is known for her wild experiments to learn more about life in the wasteland, often leading to humorous and dangerous situations. Her research, which focuses on the hardships of surviving in the post-apocalyptic world, adds a sense of levity to the otherwise grim environment. Moira's quirky nature and determination to help others despite the odds offer a refreshing glimpse of humanity's persistence in the face of destruction. Fact 85: the Wasteland's many vaults are not just shelters, they are often the site of bizarre and tragic experiments. Vault 108, for example, was home to a disturbing experiment that involved cloning the vault's residents. These clones, known as the Vault 108 dwellers, are mindless, hostile copies of the original inhabitants, created to study the effects of genetic duplication. The Vault's story serves as a chilling reminder of Vault Tech's disregard for ethics and the profound consequences of playing God with human lives. Vault 108 is a haunting example of how technology meant to protect can be corrupted. Fact 86: another key feature of the Fallout universe is the iconic Pip-Boy, a portable, wrist mounted computer that serves as a lifeline for survivors in the wasteland. The Pip-Boy is used to track inventory, health, quest objectives, and more. It's an essential tool for anyone attempting to navigate the wasteland, and it has become a symbol of the Fallout series. Its cheerful, retro aesthetic, with its bright green interface and cartoonish Vault Boy mascot, offers a strange sense of nostalgia, contrasting sharply with the harsh realities of the world outside. The Pip-Boy's function and design are a blend of old world optimism and survival. Fact 87: the Fallout universe features a variety of unique creatures, and one of the most fearsome is the Behemoth. These massive, mutated giants are a product of the wasteland's radiation and the experiments that followed. Standing several stories tall, behemoths are often found in areas where radiation is particularly strong, making them one of the most dangerous creatures in the Fallout universe. They are capable of destroying entire settlements, and they represent the catastrophic effects of the Great War on the natural world. The behemoth is a reminder of the destructive power of radiation and the grotesque mutations it can cause. Fact 88: the wasteland is home to a variety of rare and valuable resources, but few are as highly sought after as the rare Nuka-Cola Quantum. This glowing blue beverage is a mutated version of the standard Nuka-Cola and is infused with radiation. Despite its potentially harmful effects, Nuka-Cola Quantum is a coveted item for its energizing properties and its rarity. It's an iconic symbol of the Fallout universe, representing both the allure and danger of the old world's technologies. Finding a bottle of Nuka-Cola Quantum is a prized achievement for any survivor, as it represents the possibility of power and risk. Fact 89: one of the most intriguing and morally complex factions in the Fallout universe is the Institute. This secretive group of scientists and engineers, based in the Commonwealth, is dedicated to advancing humanity through the use of advanced technology. Their primary achievement is the creation of synths, advanced artificial humans who are nearly indistinguishable from real people. The Institute's controversial methods have made them both a force for good and a source of fear. While some see the Institute as a beacon of technological advancement, others view them as a dangerous power that seeks to control humanity's future through technology. Fact 90: the Mojave Wasteland, featured in Fallout New Vegas, is one of the most diverse and interesting locations in the series. Stretching across a vast desert landscape, the Mojave is home to a variety of factions and survivors. From the New California Republic, NCR, to the enigmatic Caesar's Legion, The Mojave is a battleground for control and survival. Despite its harsh environment, the Mojave is rich in history, offering players a unique blend of desert exploration, political intrigue, and danger. The Mojave's desolate beauty and complex factions make it one of the most compelling locations in the Fallout universe. Fact 91: one of the most fascinating characters in Fallout 3 is the character of Father James, a pre war priest who attempts to bring hope to the Wasteland's lost souls. Father James had been a prominent figure in the church before the Great War, and he continues his work after the war by ministering to survivors. His efforts are symbolic of the struggle for faith in a world stripped of its previous order. Father James's presence highlights the lingering desire for peace and guidance, even in the face of unimaginable destruction and uncertainty in the post-apocalyptic world. Fact 92: the Wasteland's harsh environment means that every survivor must be resourceful and creative to survive. One of the most ingenious survival tools is the Wasteland Survival Guide, a collection of tips and techniques on how to live in the unforgiving world. This guide, crafted by the enthusiastic Moira Brown, offers practical advice on everything from finding food and water to dealing with the dangers of mutated creatures. The guide is an essential item for anyone seeking to navigate the wasteland, as it provides knowledge that can mean the difference between life and death in a world filled with peril. Fact 93: the theme of family and relationships in Fallout is often explored through the personal stories of survivors, and one of the most tragic and moving examples is the story of the lone wanderer's father in Fallout 3. James, the protagonist's father, was a scientist who worked for the Vault-Tec Corporation before the Great War. His disappearance sets the lone wanderer on a journey of self-discovery, uncovering secrets about their past and the future of the wasteland. James's actions, his motivations, and his relationship with the protagonist provide an emotional core to Fallout 3's narrative, emphasizing the importance of family. Fact 94: the world of Fallout is populated with many strange and terrifying creatures, but one of the most unique and horrifying is the feral ghoul reaver. These terrifying mutated humans are victims of radiation exposure who have lost all semblance of humanity, becoming savage, aggressive monsters. Feral ghouls can be found across the wasteland, where they wander aimlessly, attacking anything that moves. The Reavers are particularly dangerous due to their increased size, strength, and aggression. Their existence is a tragic reminder of the toll radiation has taken on the human body and the horror of the wasteland's mutated inhabitants. Fact 95: a key feature of the Fallout series is its moral ambiguity, which is best exemplified by the faction known as the Raiders. Raiders are groups of violent, lawless survivors who attack, rob, and kill in order to survive. While they are often seen as the villains of the wasteland, the reasons behind their actions are more complex than they first appear. Many raiders were once ordinary people, driven to extreme measures by the brutality of the wasteland. They reflect the moral decay that can result from survival in a world where order has been shattered and compassion is in short supply. Fact 96: one of the more peculiar and fascinating aspects of the Fallout universe is the presence of the mysterious Mr. Handy robots. These small, floating robots were originally created to assist with household chores, and they are easily recognizable by their humanoid appearance, with arms designed to perform tasks like cleaning or cooking. Despite their friendly, almost comical appearance, some Mr. Handy models are still operational in the post apocalyptic world. These robots often serve as loyal companions to survivors, offering both practical assistance and a touch of pre war nostalgia, reminding players of a time when technology was designed to make life easier. Fact 97: the Wasteland's landscape is not only shaped by radiation and mutation, but also by the impact of war. One such place is the ruined city of Pittsburgh, known for its industrial past before being devastated by the Great War. Now, it stands as a testament to human achievement and its destruction. The city is largely abandoned, with its once thriving steel industry reduced to rubble. Still, small bands of survivors continue to inhabit the ruins, struggling to find meaning in a world that no longer offers the comforts of the past. Pittsburgh serves as both a symbol and a warning to the survivors. Fact 98: the Wasteland is a dangerous and unpredictable place, and survival requires both strength and cunning. One of the most crucial resources for surviving the harsh environment is food. In the Fallout universe, food is often scarce, and what little is available is often irradiated or contaminated. Still, survivors make do with what they can find, foraging through the ruins of cities or hunting down mutated creatures. Canned food, irradiated meats, and even plants that have been genetically altered by the fallout are common staples in the wasteland, highlighting the resourcefulness and determination of the survivors who inhabit this harsh world. Fact 99: one of the most haunting features of the Fallout series is the vaults. These underground shelters were designed to protect citizens from the fallout of nuclear war, but many of them were also the site of sinister experiments. Vault 95, for example, housed a social experiment where the residents were subjected to an addictive substance as part of a study on human behavior. The result was tragic, as many of the vault's inhabitants became addicted to the substance, leading to their eventual downfall. Vault 95's story highlights the dark side of the vaults, where safety was often a lie. Fact 100: the Institute, a faction in the Fallout universe, is one of the most secretive and mysterious organizations in the Wasteland. Hiding beneath the surface of the Commonwealth, the Institute is dedicated to the advancement of science and technology, often at the cost of morality. Their creation of synths, artificial beings that are indistinguishable from humans, raises important ethical questions about the nature of life and identity. The Institute's actions, while aiming for progress, also carry a heavy moral burden. Their pursuit of knowledge, in the face of humanity's collapse, demonstrates both the potential and the dangers of unchecked scientific experimentation. Fact 101: one of the most notorious factions in the Fallout universe is the Children of Adam. This religious cult worships radiation as a divine force, believing that nuclear fallout is a gift that will ultimately cleanse the world. They see the atom as a deity and embrace radiation as a means of spiritual enlightenment. Despite their eerie belief system, the Children of Adam are deeply committed to their cause, often making their way into heavily irradiated zones to spread their faith. Their presence in the wasteland is a stark reminder of how some can find purpose in a world of chaos and destruction. Fact 102: the wasteland's many vaults were not just designed to protect survivors from nuclear fallout. They were also the sites of disturbing experiments by Vault Tech. Vault 87, for example, was the location of one of the most horrific experiments: exposure to high levels of the forced evolutionary virus, FOV, leading to the creation of the monstrous supermutants. The vault's residents were subjected to these cruel experiments with no knowledge of the true consequences. Vault 87's legacy is a tragic one, as its residents, mutated beyond recognition, now roam the wasteland, embodying the unintended horrors of Vault Tech's ambitions. Fact 103: one of the most recognizable and unsettling sights in the Fallout universe is the feral ghoul. These mutated humans, who have been exposed to intense radiation for long periods, lose their human appearance and mental faculties, becoming hostile and aggressive. Some feral ghouls, though, retain a faint glimmer of their former selves. Feral ghouls are found throughout the wasteland, roaming the ruins of cities, often attacking anything in their path. They serve as a reminder of how radiation can erase both the body and the mind, leaving behind creatures that once were human but are now little more than monsters. Fact 104: one of the most enduring and popular figures in the Fallout series is the Lone Wanderer, the player character in Fallout 3. This silent protagonist embarks on a journey through the wasteland in search of their missing father, only to discover a world that has been irrevocably altered by the Great War. The Lone Wanderer's journey is filled with moral choices that shape the future of the wasteland. Their story reflects the struggle for survival in a broken world, where every decision carries weight, and the line between hero and villain can often blur. Fact 105: the wasteland's landscape is filled with remnants of the old world, and one of the most intriguing is the ruins of Rivet City in Fallout 3. Rivet City was once a massive aircraft carrier, but after the Great War, it was repurposed into a floating city for survivors. Now, it serves as a hub of commerce and hope in the capital wasteland. Its history as both a military vessel and a makeshift settlement highlights the adaptability of survivors. The remnants of the old world offer clues about humanity's resourcefulness and determination to rebuild amidst the ruins of civilization. Fact 106: in the post-apocalyptic world of Fallout, radiation is one of the most constant threats, but it also has some bizarre and unexpected effects on the environment. One such effect is the creation of glowing ones, mutated ghouls, who have been exposed to high levels of radiation. Unlike regular ghouls, glowing ones radiate an eerie green glow, which makes them both visually striking and deadly. They are a source of danger to survivors, but their appearance is also a testament to the harsh, transformative power of radiation, which has reshaped both human life and the environment in unpredictable ways. Fact 107: the Wasteland Survival Guide, a cherished item in Fallout 3, was written by Moira Brown, a resourceful entrepreneur in the capital wasteland. Moira's guide offers practical tips on surviving the harsh realities of life after the Great War, from crafting supplies to dealing with dangerous creatures. Throughout the game, players assist Moira with her research, which is often both humorous and tragic. Moira's optimism in the face of such overwhelming adversity reflects the resilience of the human spirit. The Wasteland Survival Guide is more than just a manual, it's a symbol of hope in a world that desperately needs it. Fact 108: the Wasteland is home to a variety of unique and dangerous creatures, but few are as terrifying as the Yao Guai. These mutated bears are found in the forests of the capital wasteland and other regions where they hunt with deadly precision. Yao Guai are larger and more aggressive than their pre war counterparts, with razor sharp claws and a massive muscular frame. These creatures are incredibly dangerous, especially in the wilds, where they are often found near radiation hotspots. Yaoguai represent the raw power of nature, twisted and mutated by the catastrophic forces of the Great War. Fact 109. One of the most enigmatic factions in the Fallout universe is the Institute, a secretive group that operates beneath the Commonwealth. The Institute is dedicated to advancing science and technology, often using methods that challenge moral boundaries. Their most notable achievement is the creation of synths, advanced synthetic humans designed to serve their creators. The Institute's motives are often unclear as they grapple with the ethical implications of their creations. Some view the Institute as a force for progress, while others see them as a dangerous entity that seeks to control the future of humanity through artificial intelligence. Fact 110. The wasteland is filled with remnants of the old world's technology, but few are as iconic as the power armor. Originally designed for military use, this advanced suit of armor has become a symbol of strength and protection in the Fallout universe. Power armor provides incredible defense and enhances the wearer's physical abilities, making it invaluable for surviving in the brutal conditions of the wasteland. Over time, various factions, including the Brotherhood of Steel, have come to control these suits, using them as both a symbol of power and a vital tool for maintaining dominance in a world that has forgotten peace. Fact 111. The wasteland's environment has been transformed by the devastation of the Great War, leaving vast stretches of irradiated land and mutated wildlife. One of the most iconic locations in Fallout 4 is the Glowing Sea, a radioactive wasteland where the terrain is nearly uninhabitable due to extreme radiation. It is a deadly, barren landscape where survivors who venture in must carefully manage radiation exposure. Despite its perilous nature, the Glowing Sea hides valuable secrets from the old world and is home to the remnants of humanity's most ambitious yet catastrophic technological experiments in the days before the Great War. Fact 112. The wasteland is full of intriguing and mysterious artifacts from the pre-war world, with one of the most notable being the GE Garden of Eden Creation Kit. The GE is a small, portable device capable of terraforming the land, turning barren, irradiated soil into fertile earth. Its potential to reshape the wasteland into a thriving ecosystem has made it a coveted object among survivors, factions, and even the Institute. The GE represents both the promise of hope and the terrifying possibility of misuse, a tool that could rebuild or destroy depending on who controls it. Fact 113. In the Fallout universe, vaults were not just shelters, but also the sites of terrifying experiments by Vault Tech. Vault 34, for example, contained a massive stockpile of weapons, but its true purpose was far more sinister: to test how the inhabitants would react to constant threats of violence and death. Vault 34's residents were subjected to extreme conditions, including scarcity of resources and dangerous experiments with weaponry. The Vault's story is a stark reminder of Vault Tech's dark intentions, where the safety promised by the vaults was often overshadowed by the horrors that lurked within their walls. Fact 114. The wasteland is filled with survivors, and many of them form tight-knit communities to defend themselves against the dangers of the world. One of the most memorable groups is the Followers of the Apocalypse. This altruistic faction seeks to help those in need, offering medical and scientific assistance to anyone who asks. They stand in stark contrast to the more militaristic factions of the Wasteland, such as the Brotherhood of Steel and Caesar's Legion. The followers' commitment to peace and healing is one of the few beacons of hope in the otherwise brutal world of the Wasteland. Fact 115: the Commonwealth, the setting of Fallout 4, is home to many dangerous creatures, one of which is the Mirelurk Queen. These massive, mutated crustaceans are an extreme variation of the regular Mirelurks, and they are a constant threat to anyone living near the coast. Mirelurk queens are formidable enemies with powerful attacks and the ability to summon swarms of regular Mirelurks to aid in battle. Their sheer size and deadly nature make them one of the wasteland's most dangerous creatures. Defeating them requires careful strategy, as they pose a threat not just physically, but to entire settlements. Fact 116: one of the most enduring symbols in the Fallout series is the Pip-Boy, a small, wrist-mounted device that has become a vital tool for survivors. The Pip-Boy's main function is to help users track health, inventory, and quests, but it also serves as a nostalgic link to the old world. The design, with its simple green interface and Vault Boy mascot, evokes the optimism of pre-war America. The Pip-Boy's importance extends beyond its practical function, representing the survivors' attempt to hold on to their humanity and hope in a world that has been irrevocably changed. Fact 117: the Wasteland is home to various factions that are constantly vying for control. One of the most influential groups is the New California Republic, NCR, a democratic republic that seeks to restore order and rebuild society in the post-apocalyptic world. The NCR's expansion has been met with both support and resistance from other factions. Though their goal of bringing peace and stability is noble, their methods sometimes reflect the same imperialistic tendencies that led to the Great War. Their attempts to control the wasteland show the complexity of rebuilding civilization from the ashes of the old world. Fact 118: the wasteland is filled with secrets from the old world, and one of the most mysterious is the Oasis, a hidden, verdant paradise in the capital wasteland. This rare and lush location stands as an oasis in the midst of desolation, offering a stark contrast to the surrounding radiation and destruction. The oasis is home to a group of mutated creatures known as the Children of the Atom, who worship the area as a sacred place. The oasis offers a brief glimpse into a world that was once thriving, but it is also a reminder that even paradise in the wasteland comes at a cost. Fact 119: one of the most memorable moments in the Fallout series is the moment the lone wanderer in Fallout 3 discovers the wasteland's true nature. The protagonist's journey from Vault 101 to the surface is marked by constant discovery, but the ultimate revelation of what happened to the world and their connection to it is a turning point in the narrative. The lone wanderer's quest to find their father leads them into a world that is both beautiful and tragic, full of untold stories and countless dangers. Their journey is a reflection of humanity's quest to find meaning in a broken world. Fact 120: the wasteland is a place of constant conflict, and one of the most complex and morally ambiguous factions is the Institute. The Institute, hidden beneath the surface of the Commonwealth, is dedicated to scientific advancement, particularly in the creation of synths, artificial humans. While the Institute sees itself as a force for progress, their methods are controversial, often crossing ethical lines. The creation of synths raises important questions about the nature of humanity, free will, and the definition of life itself. The Institute's actions serve as a reminder of how the pursuit of progress can sometimes lead to moral ruin. Fact 121. The wasteland is filled with remnants of the past, and one of the most fascinating is the Pridwin, an enormous airship used by the Brotherhood of Steel. This flying fortress serves as the Brotherhood's primary base of operations, providing them with both mobility and overwhelming firepower. The Pridwin is a symbol of the Brotherhood's strength and technological superiority, but also of their isolationist tendencies. It serves as a stark contrast to the crumbled cities of the wasteland, a reminder that the Brotherhood is determined to rebuild civilization, even if it means imposing their will on others. Fact 122. One of the more mysterious and elusive factions in Fallout is the Railroad. Operating in the shadows of the Commonwealth, the Railroad is dedicated to the liberation of synths, artificial humans created by the Institute. The Railroad's members work covertly to free these synths from their creators, helping them escape and live freely in the wasteland. They are often viewed as rebels, their actions pushing against the technological and moral boundaries set by the Institute and other factions. Their fight for freedom highlights the ethical dilemmas in the post apocalyptic world, where the lines between human and machine are increasingly blurred. Fact 123. The Vault Tech Assisted Targeting System, or VATS, is one of the signature features of Fallout's combat system. This system allows players to slow down time and target specific parts of an enemy's body, adding a strategic element to combat. VATS is an essential tool for survivors navigating the dangerous creatures and hostile factions of the wasteland. Its use, combined with the adrenaline pumping, action packed battles of the Fallout universe, gives players a chance to turn the tide in dire situations. VATS also adds a cinematic feel to combat, making every kill feel uniquely satisfying as it slows down for maximum impact. Fact 124. One of the more fascinating aspects of the Fallout universe is the theme of survival against impossible odds. A prime example of this is the story of the Vault Dweller from the first Fallout game. The Vault Dweller was tasked with finding a replacement water chip to save their vault from destruction. Throughout this journey, the Vault Dweller navigates the treacherous wasteland, contending with raiders, mutated creatures, and hostile factions. Their quest is a testament to the lengths people will go to ensure survival, even when faced with overwhelming adversity in a world that seems bent on destroying all hope. Fact 725. Radaway, a decontamination solution, is one of the most vital items for surviving the wasteland's radiation. After the Great War, radiation swept through the world, mutating the environment and its inhabitants. Radaway is the only reliable way to detoxify radiation exposure, and it is essential for any survivor who spends time in dangerous, irradiated zones. Though it's a lifesaver, it's also rare and highly valuable, making it a key item for any explorer in the wasteland. Its importance highlights the constant threat radiation poses and the constant balancing act between exploring the ruins and staying healthy. Fact 126. Fallout. New Vegas is widely considered one of the best entries in the Fallout series due to its deep role-playing elements, and intricate faction dynamics. Set in the Mojave Wasteland, it explores the power struggle between factions like the New California Republic, NCR, Caesar's Legion, and independent groups like the Chairman of New Vegas. Each faction has its own vision for the future of the wasteland, and players can align themselves with any of them. This level of narrative complexity allows for multiple endings, with each faction offering a unique interpretation of what the future should look like. Fact 127: super mutants were created through the forced application of the forced evolutionary virus, FOV, during pre war military experiments. These mutants are towering, aggressive creatures with enhanced strength and resilience, making them some of the deadliest enemies in the wasteland. Originally, super mutants were intended to be soldiers capable of enduring extreme conditions, but the virus led to uncontrollable mutations that left them with limited intelligence and an insatiable thirst for violence. Despite their monstrous appearance, some super mutants retain fragments of their humanity, struggling to understand their purpose in the post apocalyptic world they inhabit. Fact 128: the Mojave Wasteland, featured in Fallout New Vegas, is a vast desert area that has been reshaped by both the Great War and ongoing power struggles. The Mojave was once home to a thriving economy and culture, but now its landscape is scarred by war, radiation, and a constant battle for control. Despite the desolation, the Mojave is home to many factions and settlements, including the New California Republic and Caesar's Legion. The Mojave is unique in the Fallout series for its sense of history, where players can explore a region rich with conflicting ideologies and dangerous secrets. Fact 129: the Brotherhood of Steel has been a constant presence throughout the Fallout series, known for their obsession with preserving technology. However, their methods of protecting and hoarding advanced technology often put them at odds with other groups. The Brotherhood's central belief is that technology, especially pre war weapons and knowledge, must be preserved at all costs. While their vision of controlling advanced technology is driven by the desire to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands, their refusal to share their resources with other factions has earned them both admiration and resentment from those living in the wasteland. Fact 130: the Glowing One is one of the more horrifying creatures found in the wasteland. These ghouls have been exposed to such extreme radiation that they glow with an eerie green light. Despite their decayed and terrifying appearance, glowing ones retain their intelligence and some semblance of their former selves. However, their exposure to radiation has made them hostile, and they often attack any survivor on sight. The glowing one serves as a reminder of the devastating effects of radiation and the way the wasteland has transformed not only the land, but also the people who once inhabited it. Fact 131: one of the most tragic and memorable characters in the Fallout universe is the Lone Wanderer from Fallout 3. This protagonist embarks on a quest to find their father, who has mysteriously disappeared from Vault 101. Along the way, they discover the remnants of a broken world, where moral choices determine whether they will save or destroy those they meet. The Lone Wanderer's journey reflects the emotional weight of survival, loss, and redemption in a post-apocalyptic world. Their quest highlights the deep personal stakes of survival and the quest for meaning in a world overshadowed by despair. Fact 132: the Wasteland Wanderer is a term that often refers to the survivors who roam the barren lands, scavenging for food, supplies, and shelter. These wanderers live a nomadic existence, constantly moving from place to place to avoid the dangers of the wasteland. While some are solitary, others form small groups to help one another survive. Wasteland wanderers must be resourceful and resilient, navigating a world filled with hostile creatures, radiation, and the constant threat of other survivors. Their journey represents the harshness of life in the aftermath of the Great War, where survival often depends on adaptability and endurance. Fact 133: the super mutant behemoth is one of the most terrifying and massive creatures encountered in the Fallout universe. These mutated giants are the result of extreme radiation and the forced application of the forced evolutionary virus, FLV. Behemoths are towering, muscular mutants, often several stories tall, capable of destroying anything in their path. They are rarely encountered, but when they appear, they are a force to be reckoned with. The behemoth symbolizes the catastrophic effects of unchecked scientific experimentation and the way that radiation can warp both the environment and its inhabitants into something far more dangerous. Fact 134: the Institute is one of the most enigmatic and morally ambiguous factions in the Fallout universe. Based beneath the Commonwealth, the Institute is a secretive organization focused on advancing scientific progress, particularly through the creation of synths, synthetic humans. The Institute views themselves as the future of humanity, believing that their creations can help restore civilization. However, their methods, including kidnapping and replacing people with synths, have led to widespread fear and opposition from other factions. The Institute's pursuit of technological advancement comes at the cost of ethics, raising questions about the definition of life and the price of progress. Fact 135: the Vault 111 story from Fallout 4 is one of the most emotional in the series. The vault was designed to protect its inhabitants from the fallout of the Great War, but the true purpose of the vault's experiment was to freeze its occupants in cryogenic stasis. The protagonist, who awakens from this stasis over 200 years later, discovers that the world they once knew has been destroyed and their family has been lost. Vault 111 represents both the promise of safety and the cruel manipulation of its residents by the Vault Tech Corporation, making it a powerful narrative device in the game. Fact 136: the Mojave Wasteland, featured in Fallout New Vegas, is one of the most richly detailed settings in the series. Located in the southwestern United States, the Mojave is home to a mix of desert terrain, ancient ruins, and thriving settlements. The region is also the site of numerous power struggles, with factions such as the New California Republic, NCR, Caesar's Legion, and independent factions fighting for control. The Mojave's unique combination of desolation and opportunity creates a dynamic environment where each decision can shift the balance of power. It's a land of both harsh realities and hidden treasures. Fact 137: the Mirelurk is a mutated creature that has evolved from aquatic life forms in the Fallout universe. Thus, crab-like creatures are commonly found near bodies of water, often in swamps or coastal areas, where they have adapted to the radiation. Mirelurks are not just terrifying in appearance, but also highly aggressive, defending their territory with great ferocity. Their hard shells make them difficult to defeat, and their deadly pincers can cause massive damage. Despite their danger, Mirelurks are part of the Wasteland's ecosystem, showing how even the most unassuming creatures can be transformed by the harsh conditions of the post apocalyptic world. Fact 138: the Wasteland's water chip is a central element of the original Fallout game. Vault 13, one of the first vaults featured in the series, is in dire need of a replacement water chip to ensure the survival of its inhabitants. The protagonist must venture into the post apocalyptic world to retrieve this critical component. The water chip symbolizes both the fragility of life in the wasteland and humanity's reliance on technology for survival. It serves as an early example of the way simple needs, such as access to water, become monumental challenges in the harsh environment of the Fallout universe. Fact 139: the Fallout Shelter mobile game became a massive hit among fans of the series, allowing them to build and manage their own Vault Tech vault. Players create and manage the vault's resources, population, and defenses, all while ensuring the safety and survival of its inhabitants. The game is both a strategy and simulation experience, where players must balance the needs of their vault's residents with the constant threats from the outside world. Fallout Shelter expanded the Fallout universe by giving fans the chance to experience life inside the vaults with all their complex and darkly humorous challenges. Fact 140: one of the most iconic features of the Fallout universe is the Pip-Boy 3000, a personal wrist-mounted computer that serves as the player's interface with the world. It tracks health, inventory, quests, and provides detailed information about the environment. The Pip-Boy 3000 is a symbol of the contrast between the optimistic, pre-war world and the harsh, post-apocalyptic reality. Its bright, retro interface and Vault Boy mascot evoke nostalgia for a time that no longer exists, while also offering the practical tools necessary to survive in the wasteland. The Pip-Boy remains one of the most beloved items in Fallout history. Thank you for drifting with me through the wasteland tonight. We've walked through the ruins of a broken world, explored the remnants of human ambition and failure, and uncovered the stories of those who, despite it all, continue to survive. As the night settles, may your thoughts be calm and your heart at peace, knowing that even in the darkest places, there is always the potential for new beginnings. May your dreams be quiet, may your rest be restful, and may you find solace in the stillness of the night. Good night, dear friend.